on the fact that 80% of Nigeria's artisanal miners are informal workers. Over 2 million youths live in mining community and so are vulnerable. Youth participation is mostly unsafe, unskilled, and underpaid. Three very, very critical things that youths don't joke with, but unfortunately they are forced into. And number 4, research can turn mining into a tech-driven livelihood sector if it is intentionally done. I want us to hold this at the back of our mind that youths are not just labor in mining. They can be innovators, they can be technicians, they can be analysts, they can be entrepreneurs through data, research, and technology. So what is this about Kebbi State? I'll just give a snapshot. In Kebbi, women dominate gold washing, trading, and processing, while youth lead logistics, equipment operations, but comes with very, very low income. There is no price transparency for the miners, so they lose up to 30 to 40% revenue. And of course, this has been said so much, mercury exposure is high amongst women and youth, especially in communities like Bin, Yauri, Bagudo, Zuru, Fakai. It's something else. So what do we now, why are we now talking about research? Research opportunities exist a lot for youth, including value chain mapping, pricing transparency study and solution, community licensing and rights documentation. I've had a lot being said about the legal aspects. Green technology testing, that's mercury-free refining, has been tried elsewhere. We can domesticate it and bring it here. Digital markets research too. Now, what are these opportunities? Let's put it into startup business. We could look at mobile mineral testing lab, clean refining centers, that's in terms of the mercury use, mining PPE tools for women to close up the safety gap, price transparency apps to close up that 40% value loss, eco-land reclamation. How do we reclaim all those abandoned pits? We can have firms that work around that. So having said all of this, one critical area that is very germane to youth is money. I mean, we can't run away from it. And that is why a lot of things are happening in the sector and they are putting their head in the risk. So how can we have youth fintech app for mining? What would such a fintech app be looking at? Features would include something like real-time mineral prices, book mineral testing, cooperative marketplace. Now that youths are coming together to form cooperative group, then they should have marketplace that is digital based, impact wallet, where they can have fair escrow payments. And this can be used by women miners, can be used by youth entrepreneurs, by local refiners, by cooperative leaders. So that's an area for young people to look at. And then for environmental innovation, we expect youth to research around pit to farm conversion. I've heard a lot of that about agroforestry, reclamation of reforestation after mining activity. We can also look at pit for fish pond, for aquaculture. We can look at eco-tracking dashboards, looking at before and after of mining activities. So there's need to create additional youth jobs and reduce deaths from flooding and child drowning in the pits. And these are ways that those can be done. And then I would want to round up by looking seriously at gender inclusion beyond just youth. A lot of the youth, they are the young ones. A lot of the women are the young ones. So we need to start looking at research around women income share, safety hazards in washing and crushing, access to equipment, financing, PPE designed for women miners, particularly because from the community where I saw what is happening, that's Kebbi, They are the backbone, but they are excluded from finance, they are excluded from equipment. So there's a very serious need to pay attention to that. So in my final call to action, I would say we need to partner with the youth to build responsible mining in Nigeria by supporting tech-driven youth enterprises in the sector, financing clean, scalable mining hubs, empowering women-led cooperatives, and funding research to unlock sustainable value chains, especially in mining. Thank you very much.